In this video, I'm breaking down the essential design principles you need to master using actual real-life examples. But here's the kicker, every principle in today's video will come with some bonus tips that will simply blow your mind. Now, when I say to you consistency, you likely first imagine a running color theme or a style throughout a single design, right? So for example, on this bottle of cosmetics, we can apply a label design that constitutes as a brand theme or a brand style, where we have the same sort of style of graphics, that being these cool hand-drawn illustrations. We also have the same kind of colors, being pastel-esque yet quite bright, and also the same typography chosen. But here's another very important way to actually think about consistency in graphic design. This design follows the rule of consistency in terms of graphic style, color, fonts, and so on. But look deeper. It has a structured grid layout, ensuring balance and consistency. You can see how elements like the text block, CTA, and image align perfectly within the grid, and this creates a clean and organized look. The spacing between sections remains consistent, reinforcing visual harmony. But get this, we can actually take this theory even further. This approach is key when designing multiple related graphics. Keeping the same grid structure across different pieces helps maintain brand identity and makes the visuals feel cohesive. Even if colors and imagery change, which in this case isn't so applicable, the underlying structure ties everything together, making the design both professional and visually engaging. And in some areas, things do break across the grid or break across the borders just to give some intrigue or to actually highlight a certain area. But I do have a bonus tip for you here, and it's one that you can take into very specific projects when considering consistency. Here's the app Duolingo, and this is typically used for learning languages, but also things like mathematics. But when using this app, there are distinct sounds that can be heard when the user interacts with it, when they get something incorrect or when they get something correct, and so on.
Wat zet je op menu?
Now, look at this pretty awesome marketing video for Duolingo. And if you listen carefully, you're going to hear subtle sound effects that relate right back to the app itself.
By artificial intelligence. Understand mistakes better with Explain My Answer, AI-powered explanations designed to level up your learning. Practice conversations with roleplay, an interactive AI experience that puts your real-world language skills to the test.
Not only is this animation epic, but the branding in terms of the audio experience has been carried over to this promo video, which is another level or layer of consistency. Also, notice how the promo video is in portrait mode, which is the exact way a user will use the app. Pretty cool. So yeah, when it comes to adding consistency into graphic designs, it's not just about using colors and fonts of a similar nature. It does go far deeper than that. We're now going to take a quick look at contrast in terms of elevated graphic design. And without contrast, a design feels flat, it's lifeless, and it's difficult to navigate. But by carefully adjusting key elements, we can make visuals more dynamic and engaging. And let's break it down into three core areas: color, size, and texture. First, we enhance contrast with color, switching from a muted purple background to a high energy yellow, and this instantly makes the text and the product stand out more so. And that's because it creates a stronger separation between these elements. It is such a simple move, but it has such a big impact as well. Then we adjust size. Scaling up the headphones relative to the text makes them a clear focal point. This naturally draws attention to the product. Finally, we can introduce texture, replacing a smooth, flat background with a dynamic metallic surface, and this will add some depth and dimension. A sense of tactility makes the design feel more refined in some ways. And yes, this is a pretty fast and a pretty cheap looking example, but you do get the idea, right? Without proper use of contrast, design elements blend together and there's no separation between them, and that means there's no clarity on your design. But when done correctly and using contrast properly in advanced ways, your design can actually communicate properly and efficiently. Proximity is one of the most important design principles for creating structure and clarity on your layouts. On this first design, the proximity is already quite strong. Each element is grouped logically. The event title, the venue details, and the descriptions are all together, while the DJ name and the date form another clear unit. Even the Neon Fest branding is positioned separately to maintain hierarchy. But while this does work, there's always room for improvement. The elements feel visually connected, but adding a subtle frame can further reinforce those relationships. This is where the second design steps in with a simple yet effective adjustment, a line border. By enclosing each section with a structured grid like this, it strengthens the proximity principle by giving clear visual boundary to different content areas. This makes the design feel more intentional and more refined, and the grid does also follow the style and the tone of the design, that being brutalist and futuristic in nature. And here's the pro bonus tip for you. Adding relevant icons or small graphics next to grouped elements not only enhances proximity, but it also improves visual interest and usability. For example, smiley face icons, cassette tapes for music, and so on. Small tweaks like these take your design from good to great while keeping it clean and professional. Unity on a design ensures that everything comes together in harmony to communicate a very specific message, and also, well, it just looks really good. But take a look here. On this first design, there is a disconnect between the rustic hand-drawn illustrations and the clean modern typeface. The typography style feels more suited for a sleek, minimalist aesthetic, and this clashes with the organic, vintage look of the menu's overall theme. But if you're someone who already has an eye for design, this is going to be pretty obvious to you. This inconsistency creates a jarring experience for the viewer, detracting from the brand's identity and leaving the design feeling disjointed. In contrast, the second design exemplifies unity by aligning the typography style with the rustic hand-drawn illustrations. The bold yet slightly vintage font choice complements the handcrafted, homely feel of the illustrations and the menu layout. And by matching these visual elements, the design reinforces the restaurant's brand as a rustic and welcoming design choice, and this will enhance the customer's overall perception. But hey, why stop there when it comes to unity? An advanced tip for achieving design unity is extending the brand's visual language consistently across all touchpoints. In this package design, the unity stems from the deliberate alignment of typography, illustration style, and color palette with the menu design. The advanced technique lies in translating the rustic hand-drawn illustrations and muted yet warm color palette onto the packaging while maintaining clarity and hierarchy. By doing so, the packaging becomes more than just functional. It serves as an extension of the restaurant's identity, which is really, really important. And if you want to continue your educational journey when it comes to graphic design principles, just click that video on screen. But until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.